So I'm not a dating coach by any means, right? That's not my field of expertise, but common sense. I can coach you on common sense. If you want to set up calls where I can tell you, yeah, that was stupid. This is a better move. We can totally do that. For now, let's just settle with a story time about what not to do on a first date. Before we get into it, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Really helps the algorithm. Really push it forward. Get this content to more people, and then you can celebrate and show off that you guys were day ones. And I think that's a great deal. Let's get into this.
Story time on the worst first date ever. So this story took place not that long ago. I mean, like a few months ago. I went through a divorce. I decided I wanted to get back on the dating scene. So I get on Facebook dating, trying to find somebody to date. I found this young lady. She was local. We talked a while. We exchanged numbers. Everything's going great. She explained to me that she's only available on the weekends. I told her that worked great for me. Maybe we could go out to dinner sometimes. She agreed, so we said, hey, the following weekend, we're going to go out.
So easy things right there to sort of pay attention to and ask yourself, why weren't you asking more? Like there's a difference between having real conversation and just kind of fluff. I'm not a fan of fluff. It because I'm usually doing something. I'm usually trying to multitask. I'm usually trying to think about video ideas, work on other projects, study Spanish. So I'm a multitasker or a serial tasker, but repeatedly. But if you're having real conversations with people, you should be asking poignant questions, open ended questions. That way you can elicit actual responses and it gives you something to play off of. Oftentimes, right? And I've experienced this. When you're on a date or when you're talking to someone and the conversation is stale, there's a reason it's stale. Because sometimes when you're having conversations, and I think people have lost the art of conversation. Conversations are, think of a tennis match, the volleys back and forth. A tennis match where no one's trying to win. You're just trying to get in practice where you're hitting the ball back and forth, back and forth. That's a conversation. That's a riveting, stimulating conversation. Balls going back and forth. No one's trying to ace. No one's trying to win. There's no winning here. If you spike, or you ace that your opponent, then what happens? They don't have anywhere now to bring the question to the next follow up. You've dead ended them into a hole. Like, okay, ways that you see that, you ask me a question and my response is fine. How was your day? Fine. That's a dead end. That's a spike. That's an ace. There's nowhere to go from here. Part of asking real questions is saying, okay, you're only available Wednesdays. Oh, okay. Do you have a demanding job that takes a lot of you? Tell me about that. Oh no. You may find out there's kids involved.
I get up that morning, I go to the barber shop, I go get my car detailed, I go to the mall, get new clothes. I mean, I'm prestige, I'm ready to go on this first date. We decided we were going to meet up at 6 o'clock at the restaurant, but I realized I had not talked to her since about 11 that morning, so about 4 o'clock I sent her a text. 5 o'clock comes, no response. 5:30 comes, no response. I'm thinking maybe I'm getting stood up. At 5:55, no lie, she says, hey, I'm running behind. Can you meet me at the restaurant at 7 o'clock? Cool.
See, now we have a question of your own pride and integrity. If we have not checked in the day of the date at all. Yeah, I've canceled reservations already. Mm, even if it's Chili's, Applebee's, whatever. We're no longer going. We're no longer going. And it's not that I'm unable to. It's just there's a certain amount of respect that you're supposed to have for someone's time. That's it. If you can't exhibit that, then at the very least, walk away with your dignity intact and a bit of your pride. It's fine to reschedule but that has to be done with enough advance notice. Something like this, you come across as desperate and having absolutely nothing else going on with your life.
I get to the restaurant at 7 o'clock. I'm sitting in my car. I text her, hey, I'm here. Let me know when you arrive. Okay. 10 minutes later, she's like, I'm here. I'm looking around. I don't see this woman. But I do see a lady with 3 kids and another woman standing in front of the restaurant. I'm like, there's no way this is her. For one, it looked nothing like the lady I had been talking to. I mean, from the head up, yes, but from the neck down, no. This woman was wearing yellow, so I said, "Hey, are you wearing yellow?" She said, "Yeah, I'm standing out here with my kids."
Full stop. From the catfish, right, to you showing up with your kids and another individual. Hey, that you in the yellow? Oh yeah. Listen, you guys have a good night. You and you and the tribe you bought. Have a great night.
First off, why are you going on a first date with kids? 3 kids at that. When you told me originally you only had one.
All right. What would you call that? That a mission or that's just a flat out lie? And that's how you want to start this thing. But here's the important thing. If you continue, you condone.
I get out the car. I greet her. I'm still trying to be respectful. She's like, "Hey, I couldn't get a babysitter." She was like, "But I hope it's okay. I brought them along, and I brought my best friend with me." What? Why couldn't your best friend watch these kids? This doesn't make sense to me. She explained to me that her car had broke down. She did still want to meet up with me. Her best friend said that she would bring her to the date, but her best friend would have to travel so far back and then back again to pick her up that she just said she would stick around, but she would sit at a separate table. At this point, I'm like, all right, let's just get this over with.
No. At that point you go home. At that point you go home and say, hey, listen, best of luck to you. Like I don't want any parts of this. You lied about the amount of kids you had, that's one. Then furthermore, you couldn't contact me all day when you had this obvious issue going on. No, no, this is everything that happens going forward now, and this is directed towards the men. Everything that happens now going forward is our fault. It's our fault. I like to look at that. That's the stance I usually like to take whenever I'm examining things in my life. Where did I go wrong? First and foremost, I'm not going to blame anyone else. Where did I go wrong? You went wrong continuing this date. You went wrong continuing this date. This is what we would start calling you a simp.
So we go inside. I'm thinking, well, the kids can sit at the separate table as well, right? No, they sit at the table with us. All right. So now I'm thinking, I'm a gentleman. I'm of course paying for your food, but am I supposed to pay for the kids' food as well? Because I didn't know I was taking these kids out. I only thought I was taking you out. Mind you, one of these kids is like 14, 15. All right. Like 14, 15. So I know you're not going to eat off the kids' menu. So, we're ordering food. In my mind, I'm calculating how much this shit is going to cost. All right. So she gets, of course, one of the biggest steaks she can get. The 14 or 15-year-old also gets a steak. But the other kids get like chicken tenders or something like that. Something not that expensive. Mind you, I'm not a cheap guy. It's just the principle of how everything is going.
If it's the principle, then why are you continuing? If it's the principle, why'd you sit down to that table when you saw that future linebacker sitting down there and saying he's gonna eat? You remember what it was like, guys. You remember it was like when you were younger. You ate, you ate. It was cavernous, right? It's bottomless. But again, this is your fault. You didn't even have to sit there and ask her like, "Do you expect me to pay for your kids and perhaps your friend?" You need to don't be afraid of having awkward conversations. Why? Why not? Why not? Say the awkward thing because when you have unvoiced expectations and then they are violated, you feel bad. But it's your fault for not saying anything. It, off rip, you saw this is a glimpse into your possible future. If things go well on this date and with her, this is a glimpse into your possible future. If you don't like it, then you should have just got up and left.
So the food comes, we're eating. I barely can get a word in edgewise because these kids are talking and on their phones and on tablets and all loud. So I'm like, this is just terrible. The youngest, who appeared to be like maybe 5 or 6, says, "Mom, I gotta go to the bathroom." She's like, "I don't want to get up right now. You gotta wait." "No, I gotta go to the bathroom. I gotta go to the bathroom." So she asked me, "Hey, could I take the kid to the bathroom?" You really trust me, a complete stranger, to take your child to the bathroom? At this point, the kid is making a scene, all loud, basically screaming how he has to go pee. So I say, "Okay, I will take the young man to the bathroom." We walk in the bathroom. The little boy is like, I don't have to pee, I have to do number two. Okay, you tripping now.
It's a family of liars. It's a family of liars. You got fooled. You got fooled. You got fooled by a mom, then you got fooled by the youngest simultaneously. And you're right. These are context clues. She's like, yeah, you're gonna trust me to take your kid to the bathroom. We have met. This is the first time we're meeting. You're obviously not who you represented yourself to be online. Catfish, and that's a different story in itself. You brought the whole entire tribe here, and now you're trusting me with your son, with your youngest.
Man, I did not sign up for all this. He goes in the stall. I stand outside the stall. He's in there, and he's making all kind of noises, straining, like he's having a hard time using the bathroom. I'm like, you good in there? No, it won't come out. It won't come out. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, let's try this another time. No, it won't come out. This happens all the time. At this point, I'm like, I'm finna leave you here, and I'm finna go and get the older brother because he could have took you from the beginning. Why didn't he do this? So this time I go back and I say, hey, can you get your oldest to go in there with him because he's saying he's having a hard time using the bathroom. She snaps me up like, I know you didn't leave my baby in there by herself. I'm like, yeah, I did. She jumps up and the oldest jumps up and they go to the bathroom. At this point, I'm already asking the waitress for the bill. I'm finna end this. When she comes back out, she's acting a little bit more friendlier. She's talking to her friend who sat at the other table and was like, hey, I think we're getting ready to go. So she asks her friend, will she take the kids home? And she spends a little bit of time with me. She's like, hey, can you just take me back
What happened to the price of the bill? Curious about that. What's the damage?
later? I'll chill out with you around here for a little bit. I'm already had a terrible experience, but I'm like, yeah, maybe things would be better with no kids around. So I'm like, yeah, that's fine. Mind you, this could have happened the whole entire time where the friend dropped you off and took the kids home and I took you home later. But maybe I'm crazy for thinking that. So we decide that we're gonna go to like a little local bar, get a couple drinks and just talk. So we go to the local bar, we're talking, everything's going pretty good. She pulls out her phone and starts texting. I'm thinking she may be checking on her kids, so I don't even trip. Then she says, I'm getting ready to get a call in a few minutes I gotta take. I was like, okay, not tripping. Phone's ring, it's like a video comes through. It is her baby's father videoing her from jail.
Why don't you leave? Why don't you just leave now? Why don't you? I'm not saying that there hasn't been red flags. There's just been several red flags on both sides of this dating. This guy is the definition of what we look and say, yeah, this is exactly what a single mom of three kids, whom apparently hasn't known what a vegetable is. The youngest doesn't know what a vegetable is. Um, would want someone that's patient, that goes against what their common sense, what their gut is saying, and saying, okay, yeah, maybe it'll get better, maybe it'll get better, maybe it'll get better. What's funny when you consider how he began this and saying that got out of he got divorced, so now it would seem as if he's coming in thinking that he has lowered value to the dating market, so he's willing to accept what he knows isn't ideal. That, or she's physically fairly attractive and that's what he's being blinded by. This is again, this is what we look at in community as simp behavior, and not, and it's fine, right? Being a simp is fine if it was an isolated case. But what happens is you treat women like this and they realize I can run all over you, I can walk all over you. So the next guy, I can do that. If the next guy, if you're like that, the next guy, there's a chance the next guy might be. Or I'll just hold you and you'll become a male orbiter and there'll be another guy and another guy. And you'll just always be the one that I can take, I can call out last minute, plans fell through, pay for dinner for me and my kids.
The way she's holding the phone, she's trying to make sure I'm not in the video. And it was just actual like casual conversation. It didn't seem like anything out of the way. And he was like, where are you at? And she was like, she said the name of the bar she was at, and he was like, oh, why? Who you with? And she was like, I'm just with a friend. He was like, let me see the friend. She's like, no, you don't need to see the friend. He was like, oh, so you're on a date. You're on a date. They start going back and forth in this public place. And I'm like, bro, how could this get any worse? She wraps up the call. She gets off. At this point, she's like, I just want to drink. I just want to drink. I just want to have a good time. So she's getting shots. She's taking shot after shot after shot after shot. I'm like, you might need to slow down. She's like, no, I'm good. Trust me, I'm a heavyweight. I'm a heavyweight. For one, I don't like women that drink that much. So all of this is a turn off. At this point, I'm like, all right, come on. Let me get you home. It's getting kind of late. If you don't think it could get worse, it absolutely did.
I mean, I'd be shocked if it got worse. But if you're still here, we're gonna keep going. There's a part two. Let's get it.
Part two of the worst first date ever. So at this point, I'm ready to take her home. She's definitely tipsy. I'm like, it's getting kind of late. Let me get you back home. Get her to the car. She's starting to become really, really friendly now. She's touching
This
on
is what you
me,
wanted, right?
leaning all on my chest, and like, do you really want to take me home? Yes, I really want to take you home. Because all of this at this point is a complete turn off. I can't even get into this.
Good for him.
So we start heading in the direction of her home. She's still trying to convince me how I should let her stay the night. We should go back to my place. I'm really not saying too much. I turn the music on. She cuts the music off. She's like, oh, you're ignoring me. I'm like, no, I'm just being a gentleman. I think you've had a little too much to drink. So you think I'm a drunk? You think I'm an alcoholic? No, I just think you might have had too much to drink tonight. This girl pulls out her phone and proceeds to go live on Facebook.
See, when you see that level of gaslighting, when someone is trying to do something for your own good, and that almost immediate response, so you think I'm speaking for you. I'm just pointing out, hey, you probably are too drunk to consent. And it's wise. It's very wise for men to be like, no, let's cut this and let me get you home safely. If you hear your response to that, and I know women don't do well with rejection, and it's terrible. It's awful for them. Especially when they try to advance with you physically and you say no, or you make it clear you're not interested. Yeah, then the reaction is can be volatile. But your best bet is to, get it back home. Get it back home. That is this things can only go worse. Yeah, I'd rather you go live and there's nothing you're gonna do to convince an audience that you're a good guy. That's fine. Just accept that.
And tells her followers or her friends that I'm so rude. I think she's alcoholic. I didn't want her kids on a date. I never told her this, but maybe she picked it up on a vibe. But I'm like, oh my goodness, this is getting worse and worse by the minute. I convince her to get off of the live. She gets off of the live. Then she proceeds to start crying, saying that no man wants her, nobody gives her a chance. She feels so crazy. She tried to give herself to me and I rejected her. I'm like, trying to talk to her, trying to let her know that's not the case. I think she's very attractive. I think she's a beautiful woman, but I'm just not in the space right now to entertain what she's trying to do. So we finally make it back to her spot. We pull up in the driveway. I don't want to just rush off. So we sit there for a little bit, talk just a little bit. She's laughing some. So she's calmed down now at this point. Then she's telling me she's not feeling well. I'm like, yeah, you probably need to get on in the house. You probably had too much to drink. This girl throws up in my car. In my car. I jump out the car.
The same car you got a car wash for early in the day. Sometimes the universe is very clear. It's very clear what it wants for you, what it doesn't want for you.
I get out, go around to her side, open the door. I'm like trying to help her get out of the car so she can go inside. Getting her out of the car, I don't really want to touch her because she has vomit on her. Somebody comes to the door and I'm like, oh, you disrespectful bitch. What? Now what's going on? Come to find out, this woman still stays with her baby daddy's mother. And you got me bringing you home here?
That makes sense why why he called and was upset she was on a date. Not like the connection there is broken. Like you live separately, and he's got, you'll never see him again. No, you stay with his mom. You stay at maybe this his childhood home.
She's screaming, "Oh, he got 10 years. I can do what I want to do. He getting 10 years. I can do what I want to do. I got to have a life too." The mom was like, "Yeah, you can, but you can't do it here," which I totally agree.
Yeah, I
So in the
agree.
midst of them fussing, I see two dudes coming out the door. So apparently, the two dudes who are coming out the door is her baby daddy's brothers. All right, and now they coming out popping off with me, like, who am I? I'm mad, disrespectful. Why would I come there? I'm like, bro, I don't know nothing that's even going on. I'm slowly backing up to my car where I can get to my protection. All right, just in case this go left, I'm gonna make it go right.
The data's gone left since the beginning, since inception, since Facebook dating, it has gone left.
Believe that. So I get to the car, they still popping off. I'm popping off at this point. We're fussing back and forth. You know, I put the car in reverse and just back up, not even really paying attention what I'm doing, and run into a mailbox. Yeah, I'm done. At this point, I'm pissed off. Get out the car, look at the damage on my rear bumper, hop back in. I'm heading down the highway, livid, pissed off that I even entertained this at all. My phone starts ringing. It's her. She's like, "Can I please come back and get her? They're kicking her out. Can she stay with me for the night?"
No, no, please no. Guys, I didn't watch this ahead of time. I just saw a little bit of the beginning. Just no.
Her best friend still has the kids. Or will I get her a room? I'm like, will I get you a room? Where's your money? You're not staying with me. I don't. This is completely getting out of control. She's begging me, "Please just turn around and walking down the road. You'll see me walking. Please just come back." Being the person I am, I go back. I see her walking. She gets back in the car. Car already smelling horrible because of throw up. She's smelling horrible because of throw up. Heading down the highway, taking her to a hotel that I'm not going to pay for. I've made this very clear. Pull in at the nearest hotel, Roach Motel. I don't know what it was that I could find. It wasn't a nice place. Get there, go inside. She does not have enough money for the room. I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. We're going back and forth fussing. All right. The front desk guy, who's like an Indian, is telling us we got to go out fussing. We can't be in there fussing. I'm telling her, like, I'm just not finna. I didn't sign up for all this. I've already paid for the date. I paid for your kids' food. I travel way out here to take you home. I bought the drinks at the bar. I've already spent money on clothing, haircuts, car detail. Mind you, I just got a car detail that day and you threw up in it. Got to get it detailed again. I'm not finna kick no more money out. So we're fussing. She slaps me.
What are we supposed to? What are we supposed to think of you? What are we supposed to think of you? Why you saw how she got? Remember, let's take it that. Let's dial it back. It was almost 10 minutes ago when he came back from the bathroom with the youngest one in the bathroom, and she grabbed him up. That's what he said. Why would you think this was outside of the pale? Why did you even go back? What? Listen, sometimes we like to lean into I'm being a gentleman. So being a gentleman somehow means being walked all over. I That's not the type of gentleman I aspire to be.
Now the Indian is calling the police. I'm
Rightfully
trying to
so.
leave now before the police come. I get to the car. She is literally holding on to the side of the car door, fussing at me about how can I leave her there. I got her in this bad situation. I'm still telling her to get off the car. The police pull up right behind me, block me in. They hop out. They see all the fussing. They heard that somebody got hit. I say, yeah, it was her who put her hands on me. She was like, because he was leaving me here, back and forth. They do put her in cuffs. They take her for public intoxication and for hitting me.
She got a hotel for the night. That worked out.
And I never heard from this lady again. Needless to say, I'm very cautious about the dates I go on now, but this was absolutely the worst date I ever had. Make sure you're following me, Mr. Storytime, for the best stories you'll ever.
So don't do any of that. Put it simply, just don't do any of that. And I wish I could, end this with an anecdotal story of my worst date, like something like this, but I don't, I can't compete with anything like this. And I seriously hope none of you can either. But at the very least, we know, okay, there's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with telling someone, hey, I don't think this will work out early. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, we're just not really in the same space. Nothing wrong. You don't owe anyone, you don't owe them an exit interview. You don't owe them anything. This is fine. Hey, it was nice meeting you. Your situation, my situation is not really cohesive. That's it. That's it. Don't, as men, don't fall into the trap that you have to bend over backwards because she's a damsel in distress. I truly understand why we feel that way. It's how we were sort of conditioned growing up that this is what you're supposed to do. But when you've already been divorced and you've already had some experience with women and had some real experience with the world, you can start making your own decisions. You can deprogram and condition yourself the way that you think is best for you. Full stop. Just like that. Don't if your gut, and this is how I end this. It's something I learned maybe a year and a half ago. A lot of times that we as men, we look for confirmation. I need evidence, right? That's logical. I need evidence. Women say, I felt like it. I dreamt about it. I dreamt you did this. This felt wrong. This and they'll run with that intuition. You can do the same. You can do the same. Just think about that one. Guys, like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Oh, and shout out to daughter Sarah for the video. See you guys.